Artist Lonnie Hanzon has been hired by Neiman Marcus to create their Christmas windows. He'll be designing the 18-foot tree that occupies the window of honor in the flagship Dallas store.
So what are you thinking on the main floor here, Lonnie?
Today, Lonnie's getting a visit from Ignaz Gorischek, the man who hired him to create the Neiman Marcus Christmas tree. Lonnie is about to tell him for the first time his plan for the big tree. And it involves a lot of butterflies.
We can do beautiful butterflies out of glass or out of whatever material we want to, but to sort of have this swarm of butterflies flying up the palladium tree.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, but here's the inspiration for this year's palladium tree. We're going to do a tree that's sculpted out of entirely 50s and 60s taillight lenses.
So in a flash, delicate butterflies out, heavy metal in.
59 Cadillac fins in the Neiman Marcus window Christmas tree.
It's fabulous.
It might not be everyone's vision of Christmas, but it makes perfect sense to Ignaz. Neiman Marcus has had a history of reinventing that Dallas Christmas tree since they put the first one up in the 1930s.
The mistake that I think a lot of people make is that they try to make it traditional. And how many times do you want to see the same old traditional tree?
Holiday traffic jam.
Absolutely, that's what we'll call it, the holiday traffic jam.
Lonnie's got quite a challenge in front of him.
This is going to be groovy.
How to build an 18-foot Christmas tree entirely out of car parts.
This is the 12-year-old screaming part, you know, and we get to do that.
And the next screaming part is when you're trying to install it to meet the deadline.
Yeah.
What we've learned here is that the life of a window designer planning for Christmas is anything but routine. The clock is ticking, the pressure's on, and the world is waiting to see what's behind the curtain. It's early September, and Lonnie Hanzon has been sketching for days at his Denver studio, trying to hit upon that perfect Christmas tree design for Neiman Marcus's flagship store in Dallas. Of course, this isn't a traditional tree.
It's hard. It's hard. I'm not used to auto parts, the vocabulary. This is not the materials I normally delve into.
That's right. The Neiman Marcus Christmas tree is going to be made out of car parts. Lonnie thinks he's come up with a plan that works.
It's a little wetty cakey right now, but it works.
Bad news for Lonnie. His sketch is not approved, and it's back to the drawing board.
This is not unusual. You go through it again.
The wedding cake look is replaced by something a bit more Cadillac. The brass at Neiman Marcus approved this version.
He liked the top 2/3, but he didn't like the bottom third. And so this is what I came up with, was to put an entire back end of a classic car at the bottom. Voila.
Now comes the fun part, actually building this crazy Christmas tree.
I hate sanding, probably more than anything else in the world.
Hey, I thought this was supposed to be fun.
I want it perfectly smooth, like a brand new fender.
Ah, the boss. A couple of weeks after the design was approved, Ignaz Gorischek of Neiman Marcus flies in to check on Lonnie's progress.
And it is this Christmas that we want to have this tree ready by.
This Christmas?
Right.
Sanding aside, the Neiman Marcus tree is starting to take shape. The fins Lonnie found at the junkyard have a new purpose. They now spread out like the boughs of an evergreen. Well, a rusty evergreen.
It is a sculpture initially. It's just going to be in the shape of a tree. It's going to resemble a holiday tree to the extreme.
Back in Denver, Lonnie and Ignaz head across town to check on the frame for the car Christmas tree. This is CARRIE GARLICK, and she's in charge of building something that can hold up a tree made of metal.
It's gorgeous, Carrie.
Thank you.
This is definitely not going to be your mother's Christmas tree.
I think it's cool. It just brings you into a different place, you know, different world, Lonnie's world.
But the day is not done. Lonnie has one more thing to show Ignaz.
Hey now, we've got a car.
Actually, the back ends of two cars. Lonnie's plan is to place the trunks at the very bottom of the car tree and use them to hold presents, a plan he's about to demonstrate to Ignaz.
I'm gonna need a screwdriver, I think.
I'm not sure this is how to impress the boss.
Maybe that's why they traded the car in. The trunk wouldn't open. The holiday's getting real close.
I know.
I sense a lump of coal in somebody's future.
Hi, Lonnie.
Hi.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Locked?
I think it was not locked the whole time. Well, we have...
It's not really looking a lot like Christmas.
It's gonna be the strangest tree anybody's ever seen, that's for sure.
In Dallas, the clock is ticking for Lonnie Hanzon as well.
Down slowly. Whoops.
Lonnie and his big tree have arrived at Neiman Marcus in pieces.
Hopefully everything fits.
All these shiny, sparkly car parts are going to come together to form a Christmas tree. Eventually.
You know, it's 8:30 the night before, and we'll get it there, but it ain't cooked yet. Do we need a bigger ladder?
It turns out Lonnie needs something slightly bigger than a ladder to build his 14.5-foot tree.
Need to say a little prayer or anything?
Every piece needs to be handled with loving care.
3, 2, 1, bring it down.
It's time for the fins, and they've undergone quite a transformation from rusty to red hot.
This is the first fin that we found on the scavenger hunt in the salvage yard. This is the one that Wayne first cut out for me. It's ready for gas. Well, supposedly this was the diagram of the order of the fins going into the tree. I did have them fitting really nicely, but not right now.
Despite Lonnie's diagram,
I think that he's got the whole thing backwards.
the fins are not fitting.
So this one is what? 5 or 6. I'm gonna go ahead and put it right here.
Eventually, the fin fiasco comes to an end, and so does the diagram. Lonnie's still got a long night ahead.
We still got a mess. We still got to clean up. All of this has got to get pretty. Everything has got to get lit. It's got to work. It's got to fit, and we got to open on time.
Welcome back to Window Wonderland. This is most people's idea of a Christmas tree, but not everyone's. You're about to find out what a tree made out of 1,000 pounds of car parts looks like. It's designer Lonnie Hanzon's big moment at Neiman Marcus in Dallas.
There's a red curtain covering the window of honor at Neiman Marcus. Just peeking over the top, a hint of the souped-up, pedal-to-the-metal vision of a Christmas tree Lonnie Hanzon created for the Dallas store. On the inside, another red curtain conceals the tree from shoppers.
Ain't they purty?
The tree is pretty much assembled, all 14.5 feet of it.
Well, I figure.
But Lonnie wants to double-check the trunk,
Hi, Lonnie.
Hi.
the same one he got stuck in back in September.
Santa, 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 Santa.
Everything has to be solid because in a few hours, this is where Santa will be sitting. But for now, the gang is getting ready for another big man, and everything had better be polished, shined, and ready to go.
Ignaz is in the building.
That's right, Ignaz Gorischek,
I'm a little nervous, quite frankly.
the man who hired Lonnie. The man with the car Christmas tree idea. The man, period.
I know he'll be nice, but, you know, I do want him to really like it.
It's not your father's Oldsmobile, is it? Lonnie,
Well.
it's fabulous. It's gorgeous. It looks like something I want to drive down the street because people are going to take notice. That's for darn sure.
This is a big relief for Lonnie, considering that most of this tree had to be uprooted from a junkyard, though you would never know it today looking at all the shiny bits of metal and chrome.
Look at it from back here, huh? It's wild. It's just crazy. It's crazy.
Now that the man has given his approval, it's time to get this party started. The unveiling of the Neiman Marcus Christmas tree has been a tradition at the Dallas store since the 1930s. Even now, kids get dressed in their Sunday best and wait to see what's behind the red velvet curtain.
This is our third generation coming down to see the Christmas windows and the unveiling.
I try to guess every year, and you can never begin to believe what's behind there. Something wonderful, I know for sure.
Outside the store, something wonderful is also happening.
Ho, 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 ho.
Santa's come to town, in a caddy no less.
Merry Christmas! Ho, ho!
Now I'm a fly on the wall. My work is done.
Santa's in the house, the kids are ready. Time for the big countdown.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Lonnie's tree shines in all of its automotive glory. All 300 taillights sparkle and blink.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh.
1,000 pounds of parts from 14 different cars have been buffed, sanded, and polished. 12 fins have been painted 3 different shades of red. And all of this adds up to 5,000 watts of heavy metal magic.
I think this is by far the most exciting, fun, innovative tree I've ever seen. And the children will love it. Visiting Santa in the trunk of a car, the most fun.
Santa, who's seen a lot of things in his day, has never seen anything like this.
The back end of it's 59 Chevrolet. I saw 257 Dodges.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Did you weld all that yourself?
Oh, just knitted it at home, you know. You know me, car parts are us.
Lonnie takes it all in and treasures the moment.
I'm very happy. I'm very blessed and very happy.
Count those blessings quickly, Lonnie, because here comes Ignaz.
Okay, Lonnie.
Yes, sir.
It's never too early to start about next year. I got some great ideas I got to sit down and talk to you about.
Now what?
Oh, wait till you hear, my friend. Wait till you hear.